Hello YouTube, Tech Dragon here, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I finally got my new camera and a little tripod to go with it. So, quality of my videos should be significantly better. And to christen the new camera, I figured I'd do a top 5 decks of the format, or at least my opinions of the top 5. So, let's begin. Okay, first off, I have the 3 runners-up. Those are Dark Worlds, Insectors, and Geargias. Or all Geargia invariants. Geargia, Karkuri OTK, or just Machine of Geargias. Now, why I have these 3 runners-up: Graveyard Reliant, and way too passive for the format. Obviously, with Macro Rabbit around, these 2 are not going to do well, at least not consistently, highly dependent on the meta, but because of Mermails, Macro Rabbit's everywhere, so yeah, that's why the format's just not right for them. However, they're still good decks. Why Geargia? Obviously, it's passive. Its most aggressive play, I guess you could say, except for the Karkuri OTK, is setting a Geargia armor and just trying to get set up. Reason why this is not put with these 2, and I have this one at a slightly better position, I probably put this one at 6, is because of its ability to play Dimensional Fissure in the Karkuri version, which is absolutely invaluable in the format right now. Any way that you can bypass the graveyard screws over a lot of decks. So, those are my runners-up. Now, next up, number 5, Agents. Simon He has obviously proven that this deck is amazing. After consistently topping, I believe he got top 8 at Providence, and then again at Seattle, along with another person who was playing the exact same deck, so it topped twice in the same tournament, and made top 8 actually, and then at Barcelona I believe he got top 32, so obviously it's very consistent, and it probably helps that he's an amazing player, but Agents are hurt slightly by the graveyard banishment, because everyone knows that Hyperion has to banish a light fairy from their graveyard in order to use mini dark armed effect, I guess you could call it. So it takes a slight hit, and consistency is sometimes bad. After that, we have Chaos Dragons. Only reason why I have this at a higher position than Agents, because I personally love Agents and I think they're better than Chaos Dragons, is the ability of Chaos Dragons to put larger beat sticks on the field in one turn. Because they have Pulsar and Red Ice Darkness Metal Dragon, and of course all the Chaos monsters. And the overall flexibility of the deck, I guess you could say, because they have Dark Flare, Pulsar, Red Ice Darkness Metal Dragon, Chaos Sorcerer, BLS, just plenty of beat sticks, essentially a beat stick for every situation that you'd ever need. They have relatively good monster removal. However, this deck is plagued far more by the macro and dimensional than Agents are, but the ability to recycle 2 of your primary beat sticks, Pulsar and Red Ice Darkness Metal, with each other, is why I placed it at 4th. Now, after Chaos Dragons, we have Windups. By far the most versatile deck of the format, and probably most explosive, because nothing else I can think of really compares to the first turn Shock Lock, which almost seals game unless your opponent has an immediate response. Not much else to say about Windups. It's just Windups, everyone knows them. Now, back to Chaos Dragons Agents. I guess you could say a rock, paper, scissors with these three, because playing on dueling network, agents almost always beats wind-ups. When I'm playing wind-ups, I usually lose to Chaos Dragons, and when I'm playing agents, I always lose to Chaos Dragons. That's just how it works. So these three, I placed them 5th, 4th, and 3rd. However, depending on what kind of player you are, different decks can give you different problems, which would change this. But this is just how I best saw it. And second place, oops, sorry, hit the camera there. Second place, I don't have any Mermails. This is the best proxy I could find, but Mermail Atlanteans. Obviously, it's the newest, biggest, most feared deck because of the inability to side against it, really. I think the only sides we have for it now are really Debunk, Soul Drain, Macro, and Dimensional. Let's see, and of those, Decree stops Macro and Debunk. So that all really leaves you is Dimensional, which can be relatively easy to get rid of with a simple MST. Yeah. So, again, highly versatile deck. It's just hard to get around, and the sheer numbers that it's being played in just make it. That's why it got second in my eyes. So, trust me, I hate that deck so much. It trolls. And for number 1, who else other than Rescue Rabbit? This deck is absolutely insane. Everyone knows the original Dino Rabbit, and now it's just evolved slightly more into Macro Rabbit. This deck has been good since it was released. I don't know really else how to say it, but something's got to happen to this. And I'd love to see something to happen to this in the next ban list. But that's for ban list season. So, yeah. Rescue Rabbit, let me know what you guys think. What are you guys' top 5 decks? Tech Dragon out. Peace.